back to InHerSelf podcast,
where we talk about faith, family, finance, and friendship.
So if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube and follow us on all social media platforms.
And make sure to turn your notifications on to be notified whenever we post new content.
Hey guys.
Hello.
Hello. Okay, it's like not every week.
If you're going to sing for real, did you see how I immediately the smile went away?
I don't want to do that.
Because you put it play.
I know.
Sing it for real. Let the people hear you. Come on.
Sunday. Love First Christian Center.
Oh my God.
Huh?
Look at you. That's so messed up. Why you don't want to sing?
I don't really be wanting to. I told you it take a lot of effort. It's easier to just sing like
you can't sing?
Yeah.
That's craziness. One day, maybe next episode, I'll get her to sing for y'all. You sang in the next episode. What the Lord said.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
But
how was your week, girl?
it was good. I remember my week this week. This time.
Praise God.
Because it was a lot. Yeah, it was a lot.
What happened?
Just this new job is just a lot.
I thought you were going to talk about your vacation.
No.
Why you don't want to talk about it?
Because I got off the boat to come to that job.
Your mama just celebrated a birthday.
She did. I would call her age out, but she would be mad. But I told her you have to embrace that. I feel like when I get her age, I'm not going to be ashamed to say how old I am because it's a beautiful thing and she look good.
She does look good. Did she watch the other episode we was talking about that?
Yeah.
Okay.
She watched every episode.
I know. I'm just saying. I was trying to tie the two in together. How she don't want to talk about her age. And
right. And I got in trouble. So nonetheless. Yeah. So we went on a cruise for my mom's birthday. Very impromptu. Quick 4 or 5 day cruise. And then we came back Tuesday. Then I went right to work.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's what's up. So what's going on at work?
I think that, so I'm not going to complain because I'm grateful for the job, right? It's just something that I've never, a field I've never experienced before.
Okay.
Because it's two polar opposites, right? Medical and then law. It's like not the same at all. So it's just a lot. It's a lot of learning. It's a lot of what does this mean? And I like to get stuff immediately. So it's a learning lesson for me to just sit back and trust the process. And I'm usually trying to rush the process. So.
But you got it very fast though.
Yeah, but I just want to get it faster.
Faster? But you understand the process though, no?
I understand it to some degree, but I'm not like, I can't teach somebody. So I feel like if I can't teach you how to do something, I don't know what I'm doing.
That's good. That's when you know that you know.
Hello?
That you know that you know.
Yeah.
You
So
can't
that's
tell
not
nobody
bad.
about the Lord, you don't know. Ooh, I thought you, okay.
I felt it.
You're so funny.
But how was your week?
It was good. It was great. We're doing some renovating in the house and, expanding and taking care of what God has already provided instead of asking for more things. We're just being grateful and taking care of what we already have.
That's good.
I also just got promoted at the job. Yeah. I know. I'm excited.
Yeah.
But I'm embracing the part. I mean, it's definitely something but I've been there a little bit longer than you. So
Right.
I kind of understand what I was doing. I was able to teach what I was doing. And now to go into a different role at a bigger aspect is really cool. I'm excited about that. So it's been going good.
Happy for you.
Yeah, the kids are back in school.
Are you happy about that?
I'm ecstatic. I am so happy. Can you see this?
People without kids are aggravated. I'm not going to hold you because I don't
Why?
want to keep driving in that traffic. Y'all need to hurry up.
It's always traffic.
Get the kids to where y'all need to be so I can get to work on time.
How about you leave earlier?
I'm not going to be able to do that.
See, that's the part. Leave earlier. No, the kids are back in school. I'm totally appreciating that. It's been a few hurdles. It's more good than bad. And I'm saying just my week in general because, again, I've been going through challenges. I've been tested with what I read about 8 episodes ago,
Yeah.
that bait of Satan, how to respond and offenses and all of those things. And so recently I had been tested in that area and learning how to deal with not just how I respond, but how do I tolerate the unfairness or being treated unfairly, which is what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Because it was heavy. And we need to talk about this. So I just feel like that was a part of my week too, was dealing with a situation where I didn't feel like I was being treated like some other people and praying about it and saying, Lord, how do you want me to deal with your children? Because I want to slap them.
Yeah, I mean, that's the first thing, right? It's to smack, cuss, whatever that looks like. But now we can't do that. But we could never do it, right? Because every time we did do it, there was always a consequence between us and the Father. Because like, I didn't tell you to react like that.
And I'm still learning how to deal with that. Granted, I know that I also cause offense unnecessarily or unintentionally. I'll do that, but I feel like it's a difference when they do. You feel like it's intentional. Like I'm not trying to cause offense to you.
Right.
And so if I do and I'm aware of it, I'm going to correct it and say, hey, I apologize. Let's work it out. What happens when you know the person is intentionally causing strife in your life? How do I deal? Because that's the ones that Jesus told us to pray for and to really not, turn the other cheek, not you slap the cheek.
Yeah.
But listen, so I'm still trying to figure out how to maneuver. What I did was I decided to ignore it. I started reading about David and trying to figure out in depth why he was a man after God's own heart. And so in my studying and understanding what that looked like, what that was, what popped out to me was in all the situations where David had the opportunity to kill the king, he didn't. Like he was rightfully so. This man was trying to take your life. Like the Lord turned him over to him. He was asleep one time. He was in the cave, like multiple opportunities to take this man out. And each time David was like, no, I'm not on my hands. The blood won't be, you do. If you want him gone, you do it. And then the person who actually killed him, he ended up getting him in trouble. Like, he ended up killing him. Like, no, I can't believe, because he was like, I finally killed him. I killed him. David was like, what? You did what?
Right.
So that's why I feel like when you leave it in the hands of God for vengeance to truly be his, that's when you become like God.
But understanding that opportunities will still present themselves like it was with David. Like just because you say, okay, Lord, I'm going to leave it. The enemy don't play fair. So he going to allow the opportunity. All right, bet. I'm going to just sneak up here. I'm in your face. You going to smack me? Like, I'm tempting you. Are you going to do it? And it's like, no, I'm not. But what happens when they keep, because somebody will say, well, I'm not going to keep letting nobody disrespect me. Well, unfortunately, you're going to have to.
And that's what happened was it wasn't, here's the thing, because it wasn't blatant, like in your face, cussing you out. It's indirect. It was you throwing rocks and hiding your hand, and I see you, and you keep doing it. But you kind of hung yourself, because I was minding my business. And here's the thing, when the enemy tried to keep coming in like a flood, the Lord was lifting up a standard. Because when I wanted to rebuttal, he had already fixed it. Like a couple things kept happening, and I was like, I wanted to respond. I'm like, Lord, I don't want to respond. I'm not going to respond. And I did it, and the Lord fixed every situation. And that made them matter, if that's the word. Like they became even more angry because of the fact that I was not responding.
So I'm going to try a new tactic. That one didn't work. Boom. All they want to do is see you get out of character. That's pretty much it. The more relaxed, the more you ignoring, it's like for lack of better words, it pisses them off even more, because you're not giving me no feedback. You're not rolling your eyes at me. You're not wanting to cuss me back out. Like, what's wrong? So then they come up with more tactics to get on you. And he's like, no. It really be like, I'm not even about to feed into that, because something's wrong.
Listen.
Something's deeper.
It was, and it is something wrong.
Yeah.
But then because of the word that we have been reading and meditating and hiding in our heart, and we don't want to just be readers of the word, but actually doers of the word. Like I've been provoked and prompted to, like I just said about Galatians, the fruit of the Spirit. It just don't apply to our family and friends. That's in any capacity. Does it feel good to want? No, I didn't want to. I wanted to react. I'm just being honest.
It feels a little bit better in the moment to react, right? It's like, all right, bet. I'm going to just punch you. Boom. Then it's like, afterwards, that didn't even necessarily feel good. It felt good for the moment for my flesh, but my spirit is weary because I knew better. I should not have done that.
I think it started too for me wanting to react in that capacity because it was a trigger when I was younger and I couldn't defend myself the way that I feel like I wanted to, or say, or I feel like I was being unfairly treated. And the pact that I had on myself was, baby, when I get older, I wish I wish you would.
Yeah.
And so I have those little girl moments every now and then. And I'd be like, you're not a child anymore. And we don't fight like that anymore. We use our words and we meditate and we pray. But it's hard. It's challenging to be an adult, to grow up.
We are so excited to officially announce that we have launched our Patreon. By signing up, you will become a member of our InHerSelf community.
You'll receive exclusive access to our content that is only available to our Patreons, such as behind the scenes, live discussions, and Discord. But most importantly, first dibs on new merch.
To register, visit our link tree in the bio or the description below.
See you at the circle.
You still battling with that younger you? I mean, because you asked me that question about like, what do you do when you treated unfairly? And at first I didn't have the answer because, you know, my younger years, I felt like that's how I grew up. Like, it's just in a household, black sheep, you call it, or whatever that looks like. But I was like, okay, something is missing. Like, I'm in a household where my mom is married and they have a child and that is their child together. But I kind of feel like an outsider. Granted, my mom didn't try to make me feel like that, but that's how I felt. And so I remember going to therapy and the therapist said, well, does your stepdad, like, is it just you? And I was like, well, no, like, you know, other people or my sister feels that way too. She said, well, then you can't take offense to it. And I said, well, I need you to explain that a little bit more. She said, if there's no respect to person, you can't take offense. Because it's not, when it's just you, then okay. But if you know the storyline and the history of this person, you just another notch on a belt, or you just another person that they are yelling at or whatever that looks like for you, then you can't take offense. It's bothering you more than it's bothering them because that is their character.
And that just slapped me all in my spirit. Because as you talking, I'm like, well, dang, does this person treat other people like that? And the answer is yes. The person that I felt like mistreated by, I've heard this from other people. So it's not just me. I'm like, well, dang, I can't take offense to it because that is the person's character at this point.
Yeah. But it's on you.
Yeah. So what do you do? Like, okay, you just deal with, now I have begun to pray for them. It was hard at first, because can we just be real? Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not going to sit up and say, oh my God, Father, we thank you, and just bless them and multiply their lives, God. That is a lie. Mm-hmm. I was like, Lord, touch them. It started there. You know what I mean?
Lord, touch them before I do it.
It started with Lord, touch them.
Yeah.
And then the next day, it was, okay, Father, woo, help me be the person and the example that I need to be to draw them closer. Then I started to get more intentional in my prayer to cover them. And then the Lord said, pray for them as if they were your mother. Pray for them as if they were your aunt. Pray for them as if they were directly connected to you and you were concerned for their soul. Oh.
Right.
So now I got to go in. Mm-hmm. Now I got to go in my closet and I got to really call down some things and some strongholds, because we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against powers and principalities and rules of the darkness. So now I got to go in for you like you my sister, even though you acting like my enemy.
Oh,
And we're not. We're fighting the same enemy, but because you look like a person I can see, and I got to look beyond that. I got to look behind your eyes and say, you're a soul like me. And you don't know the same Jesus that died and said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what. You don't even know what you're doing right now. So because I do know, I'm accountable to make sure that I pray and cover you.
Right.
And so now I fight in that capacity. I don't deal with the foolishness. I'm very cordial, you know, because I'm still flesh human. The Lord's still working with my feelings. But I can, in that aspect, we ain't got to be friends, but I can cover you like you my sister.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to go about it, because we're so used to saying, oh, hurt people, and then you give them an excuse. It's like, hurt people shouldn't desire to hurt another soul because they know how that felt to them. So to pray and to cover, because granted, when people act like that, I don't know what you got going on the inside. The enemy may be roaming through your mind daily.
But I'm telling you, better rebuke him. Listen, you better bind him.
I just don't want that type of person to meet their match, because somebody won't be like us and to say, I'm praying for you. Somebody might take a different route, and then you really might meet your match for real. And then you like, oh my gosh, this person did this and that to me. But look at your track record. And sometimes that has to be the case for some people, because they don't see how they affect other people until it happens to them.
Ooh, that right there should be a shirt. People really do not understand the impact of their negative actions until it happens to them. Then it's like,
Yeah.
how dare you? The audacity of how you've been doing this all your life. And now you understand how many times, how many people you have offended. But are you going to change? It's
It
the
happened
question.
to me. I grew up doing the same things that I was like, this hurts my feelings. Because it was like you said earlier, I wasn't able to talk up or speak up. So granted, as soon as I get the availability to do so, oh, you going to hear my mouth until I met my match. And it was like, oh, dang. This how that make that person feel? I can't do that no more because my feelings are hurt. And as sensitive as I am,
Yeah.
I didn't care how you felt, why you felt that way, if I said it at the wrong moment or time. Well, you know this. I didn't care. Because I said I will say everything I desired to say growing up. Because ain't nobody gonna tell me to shut up. They aren't. But until it happens to you, then you start saying, okay, now I gotta change some things.
It was because the opportunity presented itself for God to open up our eyes. And I'm saying our because I was in the same place. I told you I grew up saying, oh, you punking me now. But baby, when that 1-8 hit real big and bold, I promise you, I don't care who, come what may. And then the Lord said, pump your brakes. Let me show you what you're talking about. That's hurt, but you don't have to operate in being hurt. You don't have to operate in that capacity. You can be healed. Allow me to heal you. And so these broken people who are walking around offending other people is because they are broken.
Right.
But it's only when they desire to be healed, they can really face reality and say, I don't have to be that person anymore. And you may be the person, your prayers may be the catapult to push them to say, I can do better, I can change, because everybody else cussed me out.
Right.
Everybody else reported it. Everybody else did what I wanted, what the enemy was using them to do. They did exactly what my assignment was, and you were different. You didn't do that. So what is it? Tell me about how you were able to maintain yourself. How are you able to maintain composure and your character? How are you able to walk out and be a epistle read by men? How are you able to do that? And let me tell you about how.
Right.
It's the Bible.
That's how you draw souls. That's how you draw. When you continue to operate the way God desires, he gonna do the rest. But your response, like we said in the other episodes, is the problem. And the problem doesn't have to be a bad thing. If you respond the way you're supposed to respond, God is he's gonna do the draw. That's what it's gonna do. But if you, all right, bet I'm cussing and screaming at you, God, he like, did I tell you? I didn't tell you. Now you in trouble.
Yeah.
Now let me come holler at you while you in your closet speaking in tongue and crying and doing all that. Now you got to go apologize to the same person that was hurting your feelings.
Because you know better. You heard what he told you to do, and you did the exact opposite of that because of your feelings and your emotion and your pride. At the end of the day, that'd be the number one thing. That pride, you're not going to punk me.
Yeah.
You're not going to tell me and embarrass me in front of all my colleagues or church people or sisters or brothers. You're not going to do that. So let me check you because you're not finna check me.
Yeah.
And then you're checking, you finna get checked. Because God didn't tell you to do that.
That was always my thing. Nobody about to punk me in front of all these people. You gonna embarrass me? Oh, nah. I had enough of that. And it's like, well, you really embarrassing yourself, boo. Because everybody looking at you like, why did you respond that way? There are different ways that you can respond, and all of it don't have to be that acting out, that craziness. It just don't even look well. You are beautiful. And you look a mess.
I was about to say acting ugly.
That's what the old folks used to say. You beautiful and you acting ugly. Yeah. So my desire is for the women that's older than us and our age. We got to seek the Lord and release this trauma, because that's really all it be. We be so mad at the things that hurt us in the past, so mad at the things that's hurting us in the current, and feel like it's going to affect us in the future, that whatever step we take, we got to make sure that somebody feels the wrath of what we dealt with in our past. And that should never be the case.
Growth is where it's at. We should continue. I know it's cliche, we say it all the time, but we really need to be the change we want to see.
Yeah.
If I'm hurt and broken, that does not mean I desire to hurt and break you. I don't have to put my trauma on you.
Yeah.
Even if I'm still wounded and you know I'm wounded, intentional or not, I have to just respond the way that I'm supposed to respond and allow God to fix those broken places. And he's quick. It seems like it's slow, but he fast. Let him fix it. Let him fix it. I don't know who we talking to at y'all jobs and stuff, but y'all let the Lord fix it.
You can't rush a journey. You've been damaged for 20, 30, 40 years and you want it to happen overnight. No, baby, you got to go talk to the 5-year-old you. You got to turn around, talk to the 10-year-old you. Then the 13, the 6, whatever that looks like for you, you got to heal every piece of you before you can get to the you now.
And let me just say, you oftentimes, the unfair treatment comes from somebody who is superior than you. Ooh. The one who has authority over you. That's when you know, when you are underneath submission of someone who is treating you unfairly, that's where you really will understand what we're talking about. When you got to listen to what they're saying because they have authority over you.
Yeah.
And you have to wait for the Lord to turn that thing around. And oh, did he turn it?
But he always will, depending on your response. It's always going to be there, but how long it take you to get there is on you. All right, you messed up. All right, take them 5 steps back again. You failed that test. You didn't get a D this time, but it was a C, which is still not pass. So
take it again.
Go ahead and take it again. And take it again until you pass.
Because one day you're going to be a leader. Mm-hmm. And if you're going to do the same thing that the leader over you is doing, then what is that? It's a repeating cycle. So where's God getting glory out of any of that? No, learn what you need to learn so that the cycle can break. Generational curses doesn't always have to apply to your family line. It could just be in general. In general, it's a curse. And we don't live up underneath the curse. We live underneath the covering, the covenant, the blood. Baby, don't do it because we can talk about this all day.
I mean, for me, I feel like your testimony is the study guide for somebody else. So for instance, if we at work, right, and they say, all right, you in training, these are the training tools that I took when I was learning and it helped me get through, right? That's our point. If this is my testimony to speak to you, this is the study guide that I have, this is how I got through. But if you keep damaging and scratching up the study guide, just start it over because you're not ready yet.
Yes.
You're not here for it yet.
Yes.
And so I'm grateful.
I'm telling you, take the test and pass it the first time. Yeah. Well, and even if you don't pass the first time, get it the second time.
On the third, or the fourth, or the fifth, just pass it.
Yes. Yeah, but we in this together.
Yeah.
If you are going through something right now where you feel like you're being treated unfairly, whether it's your family, whether it's at your work, at church, whatever it may be, you're not the only one going through it. And we can get through this together. Go read that book, the best book, the Bible. Read about David. Read about David and what he did and how he responded. And if David can do it, we can do it.
Hello. So as always, in herself she is loved.
In herself she is beautiful. In herself she is strong.
See you next week.
See y'all next week.